Grand Myriad Heavenly Region. It has been about a week since the transaction with the Divine Void Palace, and this matter, which once stirred up a great deal of excitement across the Central Heaven continent, has quickly cooled down. The reason for this is that the transaction, apart from the 10 million supreme spiritual liquid, was nothing unusual. As for helping break the shackles of the lower dimensions, this is a completely routine matter for the Grand Myriad Heavenly Palace. Inside the Grand Myriad Heavenly Palace's main hall, Palace Master Xiao, thank you for your assistance this time. The 10 million supreme spiritual liquid will be repaid by the Western Heaven Palace as soon as possible, said Wu Wanlong, looking at the elegant woman sitting cross-legged at the highest point in the hall, smiling faintly. Who cares about those foul liquids? Helping the lower dimensions is a duty set down by the first and second Palace Masters. Besides, I think that young man is quite impressive. He will be a powerful force in resisting the extraterritorial evil clan in the future. Xia Tianqing responded with a slight sneer, then paused before adding, stronger than you were back then? When I first arrived, I was only at the heaven-reaching stage. There's no comparison, Wu Wanlong said, somewhat stunned. The other elders seated in the hall, who were also cross-legged, chuckled at Xia Tianqing's teasing. Of course, Wu Wanlong didn't think he could compare to Xiao Yan. When he had first arrived in the Great Thousand World, he was indeed only at the heaven-reaching stage, and with his talent, it had taken him nearly 6 or 7 years to advance to the supreme level. Reaching the Earth's supreme level had taken him almost 50 years, with the help of numerous opportunities. If it hadn't been for the vast resources of the Western Heaven Palace, he could never have reached the heavenly supreme level in just a few hundred years. In contrast, Xiao Yan had arrived in the Great Thousand World with the strength of a 6th grade supreme, and had spent just over a year to nearly reach the Earth supreme level. Such speed was terrifying. In time, he might surpass Wu Wanlong in less than 100 years. By the way, I haven't seen He Yuan Yun from the Primordial Divine Clan recently. Has he left? Xia Tianqing asked. He Yuan Yun isn't from our Western Heaven Palace. His whereabouts are beyond our control, but I don't think he's left yet. He's still with Xiao Yan and the others. However, I think he'll be leaving soon, Wu Wanlong replied. I didn't expect he was from the Primordial Divine Clan. Speaking of which, the Primordial Divine Clan, along with the Myriad Spirit Divine Clan and other ancient races, are the real pillars of resistance against the extraterritorial evil clan. We can only help them shoulder part of the pressure, Xia Tianqing said indifferently. Then, with a slight shift of her gaze, she looked at Wu Wanlong. Your behavior back then seemed a little strange. Wasn't He Yuan Yun always by your side? How did you not know his identity as a member of the Primordial Divine Clan? Your strength far exceeds his. Even someone like me, who didn't see through him at first, could sense it over time, right? Looks like I can't hide anything from your eyes. Indeed, I knew about He Yuan Yun's background and had discussed matters concerning the Primordial Divine Clan and the Myriad Spirit Divine Clan with him. Wu Wanlong chuckled in response. He had known about He Yuan Yun's ancient, heaven-reaching Python clan origins even when he was still in the Western Heaven Palace, and before entering the Grand Myriad Heavenly Region, he had indeed spoken with He Yuan Yun and Xiao Yan about the relations between the Primordial Divine Clan, the Myriad Spirit Divine Clan, and the Extraterritorial Evil Clan. It was just that when the Palace Master of the Divine Void Palace suddenly brought up He Yuan Yun, I found it strange and decided to test the waters. But it seems that Zhuang Yuanzi didn't know He Yuan Yun's true origins, Wu Wanlong added. Now that you mention it, thinking back, Zhuang Yuanzi's reaction was really quite odd, Xia Tianqing said, pondering for a moment. Forget it. It's for the best that this matter didn't escalate into conflict. Anyway, I've received an order from the shopkeeper. It seems that there has been a major upheaval in a certain domain of the lower dimension, so I must leave now, Wu Wanlong said. Already? So soon? Xia Tianqing said, pouting. Yes, originally the Western Heaven Palace had joined forces with several Earth Supremes and hundreds of Supreme-level experts to launch a counterattack against the extraterritorial evil clan that had invaded the lower dimensions. But unexpectedly, an even greater upheaval occurred, and the extraterritorial evil clan sent a heavenly demon emperor. Now, the Western Heaven Palace's army is at a disadvantage, Sky. Heavenly Demon Emperor? A powerful being of such a level from the evil clan. I fear they are no weaker than the Heavenly Supreme of the Great Thousand Worlds. Inside the hall, a Grand Elder of the Grand Myriad Heavenly Palace, upon hearing Wu Wanlong's words, spoke with some shock. Typically, the extraterritorial evil clan would not easily send a being stronger than the Earth Supreme to the lower dimensions. Even when facing superplanes, they would only dispatch a royal-level evil demon comparable to an intermediate supreme. This is because even the breakthrough experts of the superplanes rarely surpass the first-grade supreme in strength. Sending a demon of the same supreme cultivation, but with a completely overwhelming type of power, would be enough to destroy the lower dimensions. Above the royal-level evil demons, there are the Earth Evil Emperor and Earth Demon Emperor, who are comparable to the Earth Supreme. Above them are the Heavenly Evil Emperor and Heavenly Demon Emperor, who are comparable to the Heavenly Supreme. Typically, when launching counterattacks on occupied lower dimensions, the extraterritorial evil clan would only dispatch the Earth Demon Emperor to defend. The so-called Heavenly Demon Emperor has almost never been sent to operate in the lower dimensions. The reason for this is that the Great Thousand Worlds are closely watched by ancient superclans, like the Primordial Divine Clan. Any movements from these high-level evil demons would immediately be detected by such clans. With such a level of evil demon involved, the Primordial Divine Clan and other such races would surely not stand idly by, right? Another elder of the Heavenly Seed asked. I'm not sure, but the Hall Master's transmission mentioned that there seems to be no movement from the Primordial Divine Clan, which is why I'm in such a hurry to return, Wu Wanlong replied. It feels like the extraterritorial evil clan has been more restless recently. I suspect that beyond controlling the lower dimensions, they may be plotting something even more terrifying, Xia Tianqing said. As the elders of the Grand Myriad Heavenly Palace discussed various matters, millions of miles away, atop a towering mountain peak, 3 figures sat. Xiao sat side by side with his materials, while across from him was He Yuanyun, dressed in a dark golden long robe. Between them lay a large round stone the size of a table, on which rested a jug of fine wine and several wine bowls that were black on the outside and red on the inside. He brother, thank you for taking care of Kai Lin before. I must thank you here. Xiao Yin raised his wine bowl, smiled at He Yuanyun, and then drank it in one go. Kai Lin is a good woman. I hope Xiao Yin brother will cherish her well. He Yuanyun also smiled at Xiao Yin. After briefly glancing at Kai Lin beside Xiao Yin, he too drank the wine in his bowl. My woman, no one can touch or dare to touch, Xiao Yin replied with a smile. Heh, if I hear of you bullying Kai Lin in the future, I won't let you off easily, He Yuanyun said with a faint smile. Laughter echoed across the mountain peak, and Kai Lin also thanked He Yuanyun. You should be leaving now, right? Xiao Yin looked at He Yuanyun, took a deep breath, and said, I've been away from the clan for nearly a year and a half. Thinking about it, it's time to return. The 12 holy sons are incomplete without one, He Yuanyun sighed lightly and said. The 12 holy sons? Is that the position you hold in the ancient heaven-reaching Python clan? Both Xiao Yin and Kai Lin were stunned to hear this. Although He Yuanyun had never spoken in detail about his status within the Primordial Divine Clan, they both knew that his position was not ordinary. Now that He Yuanyun had revealed his status, it showed that he trusted them to an extraordinary degree. The so-called 12 holy sons refer to the 12 most outstanding disciples within the ancient heaven-reaching Python clan. I rank 8th among them, but the most attention is given to the top 3, known as the 3 sacred kings of heaven-reaching. One of them has already reached the heavenly supreme level, and the other 2 should not be far behind. He Yuanyun openly shared the top secret of the ancient heaven-reaching Python clan with Xiao Yin. Mid-stage Earth Supreme only ranks 8th? It seems that the races within the Primordial Divine Clan are truly terrifying, Xiao Yin said in shock. According to He Yuanyun's words, the ancient heaven-reaching Python clan had young elites at the heavenly supreme level, a height that was truly too terrifying. Before I leave, there's one thing I want to tell you. He Yuanyun looked at Xiao Yin, thought for a moment, and then said, Go ahead, Xiao Yin replied as he picked up the wine jug and refilled his bowl, gazing at He Yuanyun with a calm expression. However, when He Yuanyun spoke, Xiao Yan's hand trembled. When He Yuanyun's voice reached Xiao Yan's ears, his palm slightly trembled, and the wine in the flask was spilled onto the nearby stone platform. About half a day later, inside the Grand Myriad Heavenly Palace, Wu Wanlong and Xia Tianqing finished their discussion, and everyone began walking toward the main hall. Wu Wanlong and Xia Tianqing led the group. "Thank you for saving me during that incident several hundred years ago," Xia Tianqing said, pausing just before stepping out of the main hall. Her clear voice reached Wu Wanlong's ears. "Look at you, then look at me. An old man casually saves a young girl. It's nothing out of the ordinary," Wu Wanlong replied with a faint smile. "An old man saving a girl? I'm the same age as you. Should I look older?" Xia Tianqing teased. "That's not necessary. You look fine as you are," Wu Wanlong laughed. "Flattery. If you're ever assigned to that lower dimension, just crush this thing," Xia Tianqing said, extending her hand to Wu Wanlong, revealing a blue jade slip in her palm. "Space jade slip? What do you need this for?" Wu Wanlong asked in surprise, looking at the jade slip in Xia Tianqing's hand. "The Grand Myriad Heavenly Palace has been supporting the lower dimensions. As the palace master, can I go down for a visit? Just be my tour guide," Xia Tianqing said with a smile. Wu Wanlong smiled upon hearing this, took the jade slip from her hand, glanced at it, and then returned it to her. "The lower dimension is quite dangerous. Let's wait until the peaceful era arrives," Wu Wanlong said. "I estimate that even after 10,000 years, the extraterritorial evil clans will still not be defeated," Xia Tianqing replied, clicking her tongue. Boom. At that moment, while Wu Wanlong and Xia Tianqing were talking, the space ahead of them outside the palace courtyard began to distort. Two figures emerged from the swirling space. Xiao Yin and Kailin. Has He Yuanyun left? Wu Wanlong and the others saw Xiao Yin and Kailin appear, and upon noticing that He Yuanyun was not with them, they asked in confusion. Whoosh! Just as Wu Wanlong finished speaking, Xiao Yin, who had just appeared from the space, pierced through the void and appeared in front of Wu Wanlong and the others, his expression unexpectedly serious. Seeing the solemn look on Xiao Yan's face, Xia Tianqing, Wu Wanlong, and the others all furrowed their brows. "Younger generation Xiao Yin, I wish to discuss something with the esteemed seniors," Xiao Yin said, looking at Wu Wanlong and the others. "We've just left the hall. Do we have to go back in?" An elder from the Grand Myriad Heavenly Palace said. As soon as the elder's words spread, the surrounding elders looked at Xiao Yin with questioning eyes. However, in front of everyone, Wu Wanlong and Xia Tianqing observed Xiao Yan's serious expression, and their brows furrowed even more. After a pause, Xia Tianqing finally waved her hand to the group behind her. "Back to the hall, continue the meeting." As Xia Tianqing's clear voice rang out, the many elders of the Grand Myriad Heavenly Palace turned around, disappointed, and walked back into the hall. "Ha! The small divine void palace dares to lay hands on the primordial divine vein." He Yuanyun's hearty laugh echoed through the sky, and in the distance, on the towering rift, Zhuang Yuanzi, standing in midair, showed a twisted expression. "I don't know anything about the primordial divine vein," Zhuang Yuanzi's low voice echoed. "I know you've already informed the Grand Myriad Heavenly Palace, but this is not the Central Heaven continent. Now, let me wager my life and see whether the Grand Myriad Heavenly Palace's experts arrive first, or if I catch you before that." Boom. As Zhuang Yuanzi's deep voice rang out, an extremely terrifying aura enveloped the entire region. The entire nameless continent began to tremble, and the spiritual energy spreading through the world surged wildly. Feeling the terrifying power that covered the entire continent, He Yuanyun also pushed his power to the limit, unleashing a torrential dark golden spiritual energy to resist Zhuang Yuanzi's overwhelming pressure. However, the gap between Earth Supreme and Heavenly Supreme was still too vast. He Yuanyun could only push Zhuang Yuanzi's spiritual energy pressure back 1,000 feet. "If you want to keep me here, let's see if you, old man, have the ability," He Yuanyun said, grinning as he looked at Zhuang Yuanzi. Then, he slowly raised his palm toward him. As He Yuanyun's palm slowly lifted, The spiritual energy of heaven and earth within tens of thousands of miles erupted violently, and then the vast spiritual energy surged like tides across the sky. Eventually, it transformed into a massive supermountain range, about tens of thousands of zhang tall. The mountain's solidity was as if it were a physical existence, becoming a part of the world itself. The immense pressure of the mountain radiated outward from its peak. This was the phenomenon of heaven and earth, a signature move of the Earth Supreme. However, the mountain created by He Yuan was far more terrifying than that of an ordinary Earth Supreme, demonstrating that He Yuan, as a member of the primordial divine clan, was far from ordinary in his abilities. A mere Earth Supreme dares to show off in front of me. Zhuang Yuanzi slowly raised his head and looked at the grand phenomenon of heaven and earth descending like the weight of the earth itself. He then raised his hand and, with a simple flick of his finger, pointed at the void above. Boom! As Zhuang Yuanzi pointed, an invisible, formless wave spread out from his fingertip, enveloping the entire phenomenon of heaven and earth above. Under this invisible wave, the entire phenomenon froze in place, suspended in the air. Cracks began to spread across the super mountain peak, and the massive mountain collapsed with a thunderous crash. Mastery of heaven and earth, much like a lower-dimensional realm breaker controlling the entire realm with the force of the world's essence, allowed one to command the surrounding world. Everything changed at the thought of the one in control. If the phenomenon of heaven and earth was the signature technique of an Earth Supreme, then the mastery of heaven and earth was the extraordinary ability of the Heavenly Supreme. With this ability, even a Heavenly Supreme could control an entire realm, even without the realm's essence. Seeing Zhuang Yuanzi effortlessly neutralizing his attack, He Yuan's expression changed drastically. He knew the gap between an Earth Supreme and a Heavenly Supreme was vast, but the magnitude of this difference was beyond his expectations. He Yuan's face paled as he witnessed the surroundings suddenly spin in a strange way, with up, down, left, right, front, and back all jumbled up. When he regained his senses, he found himself standing directly before Zhuang Yuanzi. So, this is the power of mastery of heaven and earth? He Yuan wiped the cold sweat from his forehead. At this moment, he finally understood why those old-timers from the ancient heaven-reaching Python clan had refused to use this ability during their sparring sessions with him. This power was almost like cheating in battle. Within tens of thousands of miles, everything is under my control. What can you use to challenge me? Zhuang Yuanzi stood with his hands clasped behind his back, looking calmly at He Yuan and speaking indifferently. Ding! However, before Zhuang Yuanzi's words even finished, He Yuan grinned and slowly opened his palm. A dark golden rune appeared on his palm. Shua! The mysterious rune emitted a dark golden light, and upon seeing it, Zhuang Yuanzi's pupils shrank slightly. In his perception, the dark golden light radiating from the rune began to gradually escape his control within the illuminated area. The dark golden light tore through the sky, forcibly detaching a vast space from Zhuang Yuanzi's control. Truly a member of the primordial divine clan. Their abilities are beyond belief, Zhuang Yuanzi said with a faint smile as he watched the space gradually detach from his control. Shua! With the space now free from Zhuang Yuanzi's control, He Yuan swiftly retreated. At the same time, his other hand opened, and not far away. Zhuang Yuanzi's expression shifted dramatically. In He Yuan's other hand, another dark golden rune appeared. The brilliant dark golden light enveloped a space tens of thousands of zhang wide, pulling it out of Zhuang Yuanzi's grasp. You just said that I informed the Grand Myriad Heavenly Palace, He Yuan said, his gaze cold as he stared at Zhuang Yuanzi, a chilling laugh escaping his lips. Then today I will tell you, if I use the Grand Myriad Heavenly Palace as my backing, I could easily hide in the Grand Myriad Heavenly region and wait for the strongest members of my clan to come to my aid. And if I step forward, it means I not only haven't informed them about this matter, but I also have enough confidence to escape your interception. He Yuan's commanding voice echoed through the heavens and earth. At the same time, the two dark golden symbols swirling in his palms left his hands under Zhuang Yuanzi's astonished gaze. Buzz! The two dark golden symbols swirled and extended in front of He Yuan, coiling around each other like two long serpents, one golden and one black, resembling two enormous heavenly pythons. They transformed into a divine seal of the two elements, nearly a yard in size. As Zhuang Yuanzi looked at the symbol that had appeared, his expression suddenly changed. Even as a heavenly supreme, he felt a life-threatening danger from the seal cast by the Earth Supreme. What is this? A horrified voice finally escaped from Zhuang Yuanzi's mouth. Ding! The dark golden divine seal of the two elements spun in midair, expanding rapidly. In just a few breaths, it grew to thousands of feet in size. He Yuan Yun pointed forward and pressed his finger on the dark golden symbol. Buzz! A ripple, like that of water, spread from the point where He Yuan Yun's finger touched the divine seal. Zhuang Yuanzi's pupils contracted once again. Sizzle! The ripple of void energy spread out silently, and in the next moment, a thin black thread shot out from the divine seal, racing through the sky towards Zhuang Yuanzi. Before he could react, the thread completed a plane rotation in midair. Playing tricks. A terrifying wave of energy surged into Zhuang Yuanzi's heart, and his figure pierced the void as he retreated without hesitation. Faced with an Earth Supreme, he chose to retreat without a second thought. As he retreated, Zhuang Yuanzi finally understood why he instinctively chose to withdraw. Boom! The tiny black thread drew a massive black circle in front of Zhuang Yuanzi, and within that circle, there was nothing but emptiness. Even the spiritual energy that had once filled that space vanished completely, as if it had never existed. Within the vast black circle, everything had been completely erased in an instant, leaving no trace behind. What is this power? Zhuang Yuanzi's horrified voice echoed. If he hadn't dodged in time, he would have been in grave danger. Within that black circle, he felt a terrifying wave that even made a heavenly supreme's heart palpitate. That sensation was annihilation power. This power is truly too strong. He Yuan Yun, not far away, felt a cold sweat dripping from his forehead. The power of this divine seal of the two elements was far too terrifying. Even with his current mid-stage Earth Supreme strength, he couldn't fully control it. The earlier attack was clearly a result of his mismanagement. The two elements annihilation seal. This was the name of the current seal. In ancient times, the ancient heaven-reaching Python clan used such a seal to erase 8 evil demons from the extraterritorial evil clan who were comparable to heavenly supremes. Although the seal He Yuan Yun used was not the same as that nearly divine one from over 100,000 years ago, it was still forged by the current leader of the ancient heaven-reaching Python clan. Only the top elders of the clan and the 12 holy sons could wield such a seal. This imitation of the two elements annihilation seal came in 3 levels: the two elements annihilation king seal, the two elements annihilation emperor seal, and the two elements annihilation divine seal. The seal that annihilated 8 heavenly supremes in ancient times was known as the two elements annihilation divine seal. The two seals He Yuan Yun held were the second tier, two elements annihilation emperor seals. Together, they granted him temporary power comparable to the annihilation emperor seal. This power was not only the ultimate life-saving measure of the 12 holy sons, but also the reason He Yuan Yun did not use it when Kai Lin was taken by the Divine Void Palace. He lacked the confidence that Kai Lin wouldn't be affected. However, the situation now was different. The desolate nameless continent was the battlefield He Yuan Yun had specifically chosen. What? You actually have something like this on you? When Xiao Yin heard that He Yuan Yun possessed a 10th of the primordial divine vein from the first holy sun, his heart trembled. You must have guessed it. A week ago, that old ghost from the Divine Void Palace wouldn't have nominated me for no reason, He Yuan Yun said with a faint smile. This matter should be discussed with the Grand Myriad Heavenly Palace and Senior Wu Wanlong facing the extraterritorial evil clan. We are all in the same camp, so we can trust each other, Kai Lin spoke up from the side. That's right. If the Divine Void Palace is really eyeing the primordial divine vein on you, and given their previous probing of the Grand Myriad Heavenly Palace and Senior Wu Wanlong, they've likely confirmed that the Grand Myriad Heavenly Palace and Senior Wu Wanlong have no idea about the primordial divine vein on you. Since you neither belong to the Grand Myriad Heavenly Palace nor to the Western Heaven Palace, you must return to the ancient heaven-reaching Python clan. and you will be truly alone. In that case, the people from the Divine Void Palace are very likely to intercept you halfway. Xiao Yin looked at He Yuanyun and said, the best course of action now is to inform Senior Wu Wanlong. The fewer people who know about the primordial divine vein, the better. He Yuanyun replied, shaking his head. Besides, if it's just that Zhuang Yuanzi from the Divine Void Palace, facing a heavenly supreme mid-stage expert, I can't win, but I do have ways to escape to preserve my life. Xiao Yin looked at He Yuanyun and suddenly recalled his past on the Doqi continent. At that time, he also made many decisions that others found difficult to understand and accept. However, these decisions were always executed after he exhausted all means, and each time, he was walking on the edge of life and death. But in the end, he always emerged victorious and amazed everyone. Since this is Brother He's decision, I will not interfere further. However, I must continue traveling the great thousand worlds to find another wife, and to investigate the relationships with an uncle and a senior who also came to break through their shackles. I hope that one day, we will meet again. Xiao Yin raised his wine bowl and said to He Yuanyun, then drank it all. Another wife? Why don't you let Kai Lin marry me? He Yuanyun teased Xiao Yin with a smile. No negotiation, Xiao Yin replied with a faint smile of his own. The laughter from the peak soon ended with a ripple of space.